of the age of literacy. End of the age of literacy. A talk by Father Walter J. Ong of the Society of Jesus, professor of English at St. Louis University. Often we think of printing as only this, a way of producing in great quantity copies of books already in existence. But printing is much more than this. Printing changed man's very idea of what his own mental processes are.
Didn't use any ideas about Marshall McLuhan and the media ecology. You regard litigation as part of the creative process?
That's correct. These composite projects have not been marketed or used to recognize St. Louis's heritage as relates to Marshall McLuhan and Walter Ong. And the media box, from its initial get-go, was tethered to that.
Right. The media ecology piece was not used.
$750,000. I did.
I remember.
Media box project.
I don't recall him.
The burnt church, $750,000, the burnt church. No. Well, it's signed by Vince Shamel, not by me.
No. MediaVox will take what was Kabul, which was that had a broadband line in the nightclub. And my DJs not only dealt with mixing music, but they were confronted with mixing and creating collages involving what was out there on the net. At the same time, we had spy cams sending out information to the public at large. So it created this kind of interesting mix of information going out, coming in.
Touch is actually not connection, but interval. It's when you touch something, you have a little space between yourself and that thing which resonates.
Veena is considered to be one of the most oldest of string instruments of India. It had the quality of human voice. It's really mixed completely with your body and mind and soul.
In The Descent into the Maelstrom, Poe imagines the situation in which a sailor who has gone out on a fishing expedition is caught by not watching the turn of the tide in a huge maelstrom or whirlpool, and he sees that his boat will be sucked down into this thing. He begins to study the action of the storm. By studying the things that reappear, to which he attaches himself to one of these, he saves himself. The huge vortices of energy created by our media present us with similar possibilities of evasion, of consequences, of destruction. By studying the pattern of the effects of this huge vortex of energy in which we're involved, it may be possible to program a strategy of evasion and survival. Program survival. The artist would seem to have been given to us as a providential means of bridging the gap between evolution and technology. The artist is able to program the sensory life or reprogram the sensory life in a way which gives you a navigational chart to get out of the maelstrom created by your own ingenuity. The role of the artist in that regard to man and the media is simply survival.
The most striking thing about the alphabet is perhaps the fact that it has been invented only once. Basically, there is only one alphabet in the entire world. We do not know who invented it. There is something basically shaky about the sound-space relationship which the alphabet establishes or pretends to establish.
Our natural responses to media and to technology are irrelevant. We cannot trust our instincts or our natural physical responses to new things. They will destroy us. This problem has not been raised by anybody, except that we have to live with it every day. Program survival.
Were you familiar with Marshall McLuhan and Walter Ong?
I never met either of them.
I am chair of the graduate architecture program. Had asked me to be involved in one creative writing activity about how creative people work.
I'll represent to you that these series of emails discussed the role of Marshall McLuhan and the Grand Center District.
I have memory of this subject matter,
Epistemology.
how creative people work,
Namaste, Tom. Namaste. We love you. Namaste, Tom. Great free country. We love you, India, very much. Welcome.
Sorry. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, it comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times.
So play.
So we should do 2, 2, 2.
2 to 2. Okay.
So the first time with gamma, second time with 3 notes, third time with 4 notes.
Yes. Fantastic. Come this side. This music has no beginning and no end. You start somewhere in between. You are just there. Now you go for the round and see if it is interesting. Then let him play 13 cycles, 15 cycles, if it is playing something beautiful. But if it is not coming up with the very excitement, because he may ruin your piece. So let him play for 8 cycles, 6 cycles, something simple. If it is playing something beautiful. Again.
Oh, then you want me?
Yes. Now you go for the round. What we do is music is come from human body.